let's say Alex Jones is wrong about most things, but some of these things are true, and he's right about them.
Central banks have unlimited money, but they can't buy all the infrastructure up because people aren't selling. So they've got to crush us and make people so poor that everybody's forced to sell their business, their intellectual property, their physical property, but more importantly, to turn over our bodies to them.
That's what they want. Does this fall under the transhumanism thing? Maybe not. But they want to harvest the power of what your body can do in some crazy ways. And again, this is stuff that if you told me this a few years ago, I'd be like, bruh, what are you talking about? But we can see the need for the depopulation, the push for these kind of ideologies that sterilize people and murder babies. I mean, it's not looking good. Shout out to Bill Bradley. Thank you so much for hanging out. You have a good one. Thank you. Opus said the elites have been into this stuff for decades. Bingo. Yep. And it's about time. It's about time that we start listening to Alex Jones and figuring the damn thing out.
Or a UN treaty that Biden, right?
Bohemian Grove. Yeah, Bohemian Grove. Yep. That shit. I believe. Yep, exactly. I believe it was Luke Rukowski from Luke Uncensored. We Are Changed that was able to go and get footage of them. And again, I don't know if this is specifically Bohemian Grove or one of these other things, but like they were burning the effigy of an owl or some shit. It's real. It's real.
Right now, that's what I call Biden. So Biden is trying to ratify, would literally put our bodies under the control of the United Nations and our medical care policy under it. So,
I mean, Biden's already done it himself.
Come on, man.
Pandemic
treaty.
Yeah.
So what pandemic this is really a breaking of our will, a demoralization. That's what the transgenderism is, and 2 men can have a baby, and puberty blockers, and castrating little boys, and cutting little girls' breasts off. They've got such hellish stuff coming in this designed global collapse to bring in their world government that they've got to just have all these horrors out there, hoping we just throw up our hands and run off to the countryside, which everybody's doing, and in a way that's good. But at the same time, then they've got full control.
That's totally right.
And they're going to march out of the countryside next and dig us out.
So that's, I mean,
it's very like, now that we get into this place where we're like, all right, this maybe Alex Jones is wrong about most things. Let's say Alex Jones is wrong about most things, but some of these things are true, and he's right about them. How do we get to a place where now it is not just automatically going to be brushed off as Alex Jones conspiracy theory? Because like we've been saying, Alex Jones has been talking about this stuff for decades. So how do we broach the topic without it being like, oh, you're one of those? Because that's going to be the mentality if you're talking like this. And I would say it doesn't matter what people think, but that's what politics is winning the hearts and minds of people. It's scary. Once again, yes, look into the WHO treaty. It's dystopian on steroids. The WHO treaty. Let's see. The WHO Pandemic Preparedness Treaty. In March 2021, a group of world leaders, including UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson, announced an initiative for a new treaty on why is there a period there? That's definitely a period. Come on, guys. For a new treaty on pandemic preparedness and responses. This initiative was taken to the World Health Organization and will be negotiated, drafted, and debated by a newly established intergovernmental negotiation body. All right, what does it say? What is being proposed? The main goal of this treaty would be to foster an all of the government and all of society approach. Well, I don't like the sound of that. Strengthening national, regional, and global capacities and resilience to future pandemics. Oh, we're already preparing about future pandemics. This includes greatly enhancing international cooperation to improve, for example, alert systems, data sharing, research and local, regional, and global production and distribution of medical and public health countermeasures as vaccines. So it sounds like they're trying to. Okay, so this one's specifically for UK, but if it's anything similar. Oh, so the who is the who though? I'm like, oh, this is the UK. But yeah, it sounds like they are looking to create a precedent that when a pandemic happens, it's just accepted that you have to do X, Y, and Z. And so then they're gonna X, Y, and Z and A, B, and C. So then there's another pandemic, and just like last time, you got to do X, Y, and Z and A, B, C, and D, E, F. And soon there's a whole. They didn't even need to call it a pandemic. It's just life. It's just life. So okay, Bohemian Grove was Alex. Shout out to okay. So it was the Bilderberg in Davos. Okay. Yep. One world government, and nobody except Klaus Schwab wants that.
You look at the White House press secretary, who can barely speak English, who's one of the stupidest people I've ever seen, and a transparent liar. You wouldn't hire her to run your copy machine. She's the White House press secretary. Why would you do that? And it's not because of her race or who she sleeps with.
That?
I think the whole point is she's so obviously repulsive that it makes you feel bad about the country to see her.
I mean, that's it. We're at a beautiful ball. It's prom night. Everybody's dressed great. There's wonderful food, big, delicious punch bowl. And then they say, what can we do? Well, just have Brian Stelter go take a dump.
Loser. Yeah.
And then he's there laughing at you. They're all there laughing at you to make you feel small, to make you question reality. Why is everything so ugly? I mean, that's why they tell people, hey, you can be homeless anywhere. You can crap on the street, needles, throw your garbage everywhere. Drug dealers can sell you drugs. We're going to give the homeless all this government funding. Liberal groups come in and farm and milk each homeless person and skim a big cut of the money off the top. It's a crop.
And I was saying that's why we're seeing this wave of right-wing presidents being elected across the West. Yeah, what was the most recent one with the dude with the weird, almost like emo hair? Was it Argentina? I think it was Argentina. But yeah, I mean, people are waking up. People are waking up. Whether or not it's too late, I don't know. I hope not. But we don't really have a choice. We got to fight this.
But then a cash crop. But then we see that and we think it's all over. There's nothing we can do to demoralize us and make us give up. And even though I'm conscious of this, even though I know this, it's still at a DNA level. I'm like, I got to go to the country. I got to get out of here. I've got to separate myself from this. But then they release this toxic cultural poisonous gas, they push us out of those areas and they get the main infrastructure to then organize that, cut off the food and supplies to that group they have, and then tell them the reason you're doing bad is not BlackRock and the WF and Bill Gates. It's all those evil people in the countryside. They're all white supremacists and terrorists and racists. Let's go get them. Because the last group they don't control is rural people that are self-sufficient. And so
they got guns, they got knowledge, they got community. Despite being a mile away from their neighbor, they know their name. Do you know the names of your neighbor? I know, well, I don't want to say her name, but I know the neighbors over here. I have no idea who, and these are like just condo townhouses. I mean, I maybe like I mean, it's not big. It's not a big place. It's just a little townhouse condo. And I know one person. And that's just because that's the only reason is because she lives in the path that I walk Morty. And so she's just out there smoking her cigarettes sometimes. So if I didn't have to walk Morty, I don't think I would ever leave this place, and I would never meet any of those people. And I mean, as much as I am somebody who's saying like, yes, that is something that we should be doing. We should be building community. I mean, it's not necessarily being a young guy living by himself. Most of the people here are old, or have kids. I don't have kids, so I don't know. It's just something to think about. They say Christian nationalists are the greatest threat to the country. I don't know about that. I don't agree with that. I would say, well, if so, here's a way. So if this is what you mean, because I heard Tim talking about that. The likely, if we see, you know, an actual hot civil war, gotcha, a hot civil war, you know, kick off, gotcha, that it likely will be someone on the right who is going to, you know, essentially the shot heard around the world. It is more likely to be somebody on the right, because if you think about the actual issues, what is an issue that is more likely to get somebody to react violently? So we just saw that video the other day of last night of the video outside of the abortion clinic, where the guy is crying, sobbing, pleading with his girl, like, please don't kill my baby. Please don't kill my baby. Well, what happens when we have, I think it's Oklahoma and Tennessee? Are they right next to each other? Or Kansas? I don't know. Two states that are right next to each other have the opposite abortion laws. And so if you live on the border, a very short drive, you can do something that now we're crossing state lines. And now it's like, okay, are the police going to do this? So, well, that's state law in Ohio. So, you know, we can't do anything about it. That dad is you know, more likely to do something than, you know, something about racist and whatever. I think it's, you know, a little bit more dangerous. But so in that sense, if that's what they are saying, that's not what they're saying. But if that's what they were saying, then they would be they would be right. But only for the reason that the left is just poking and prodding constantly. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed that clip, check out the full live stream link in the bio and catch me live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. See you there.